Hello, students. Let's continue the fifth part of the chapter French Revolution. The fifth part is the abolition of slavery. One of the most revolutionary social reform under Jacobins was abolition of slavery in French colonies. Students, this is the area of Caribbean Sea and here were the colonies of France, and these colonies were Martinique, Guadeloupe, San Domingo, and these colonies were very important for France because they were the suppliers of many commodities. Commodities like tobacco, indigo, sugar, and coffee. But the problem was that the people of Europe were not willing to go to these faraway places and work there as laborers on the plantation. Now they started slave trade, and this slave trade was a triangular trade between Europe, Africa, and Americas, where Europe played a very important role. The people of Europe purchased people as slaves from Africa from their chieftains and they sold them to Americas. The slave trade was started in 17th century. Now, these were the people who were purchased as slave, and then these people were brought from their local chieftains and they chained and the slaves were packed tightly into the ship. Then this is the whole course, which was 3 month long journey across the Atlantic to Caribbean. And then these people were sold to plantation owners, and the exploitation of slave labor made it possible to meet the growing demand of European market for sugar, coffee and indigo. These are the two important port cities of France, Nantes and Bordeaux. The businessmen of these cities flourished due to slave trade. This is the picture of the city Bordeaux. Student, this is the condition. You can look how miserable condition was of these slaves. Now, in 18th century, criticism of slavery was started in France. Many debates were held in their national convention. But they did not pass any law whether the men of rights should be extended to all French subjects, including those in colonies. Means debate were held that these right of men should be given to the people of the French colonies or not. But the people of National Assembly feared that if they abolished it, then they had to face the opposition of businessmen whose income depended on slave trade. Finally, this was the person Robespierre who in 1794 legislated to free all the slaves in French overseas possessions in French colonies. And this is the scene of freedom of these slaves. But this was very short term measures. After 10 years, this person, Napoleon Bonaparte, again reintroduced slavery. Finally, Slavery was abolished in French colonies in 1848. Students, that's all about the abolition of slavery. Thank you and have a safe day.